Want to speak real Cantonese from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at CantoneseClass101.com.
Hi everybody, Olivia here. Welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I'll answer some of your most common Cantonese questions. The question for this lesson is, where is Cantonese spoken? Cantonese is the oldest language and the most popular Chinese dialect spoken in Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau, and some neighboring areas around the eastern part of Guangxi. Let's get into more details. In which regions is Cantonese currently spoken? Cantonese is the official language in Hanggang, which is Hong Kong, and Oman, which is Macau. And today we are in Macau. And historically, the most popular form of Chinese spoken outside mainland China. We're not kidding about Cantonese being spoken everywhere. It is the most widely spoken dialect among Chinese communities in Canada, the United States of America, and Australia, as well as Europe and Southeast Asia. Is Cantonese very different from Mandarin? Cantonese and Mandarin are two of the most spoken Chinese dialects. They share the same writing system, but each dialect has terms that are unique in their regions. In the case of Cantonese, there are even some special Chinese characters not used in other dialects. Here is an interesting fact. Pronunciation among native Cantonese speakers in China can be different from that of Cantonese speakers in Hong Kong. A lot of people in Hong Kong, especially the younger generation, use a lot of their own conversational slang and tend to speak what they will call lan yam, meaning lazy tongue. An example is the word you. The right way to pronounce it is nei, but in Hong Kong, many people pronounce it as lei. How was it? Pretty interesting, right? Do you have any more questions? Leave them in the comments below and I'll try to answer them. See you next time. Hi everybody, Olivia here. Welcome to Ask a Teacher, where I'll answer some of your most common Cantonese questions. The question for this lesson is, what is Yut Ping? Yut Ping. Yut Ping, commonly known as Yut Ping, is the standard, most commonly used phonetic system for spelling Cantonese using Roman letters. It's a way to read and pronounce Cantonese words through English letters and tone numbers. For example, SIU3, seal as in to laugh, is the Yut Ping for this character. Even though most Hong Kong people can understand the Yut Ping or other romanization systems, they are not a substitute for the Chinese characters. Let's get into more details. How is a word built when written in Yut Ping? Cantonese sound can be broken down into syllables. These syllables can be a standalone word or they can be combined together to form compound words. Each syllable is made up of an initial sound, a final sound, and a tone. So for learners who are not familiar with the Chinese characters, we transcribe the syllables into Romanized letters or Yut Ping. Here is an example of a syllable in Yut Ping. Sing, which means star, S-I-N-G-1. Here the initial sound is S, and final sound is ing, I-N-G. And the syllable is in the first tone. The tones in Yut Ping are represented by a number placed on the right side of the syllable. There are numbers from 1 to 6. Now, how common is Yut Ping in Hong Kong? Basically, Yut Ping is the transliteration of Cantonese sound for Cantonese learners, which is related to the International Phonetic Alphabet System. For native speakers, however, this is unnecessary and never taught in school. So don't be surprised when a native speaker is not aware of or doesn't know what Yut Ping is. There are many cases of government transliterated Hong Kong street or district names that use an obscure and unstandardized system. For example, Sam Shui Po is commonly known as the Sham Shui Po district, but the transliteration Sham Shui Po is not in line with the Yut Ping rules. You can listen to all the sounds of Cantonese and see their corresponding Yut Ping romanization at www.cantoneseclass101.com/Cantonese-alphabet. There is a Yuping chart with audio to aid you in perfecting the pronunciation. How was it? Pretty interesting, right? Do you have any more questions? Leave them in the comment below and I'll try to answer them. See you next time.
Want to speak real Cantonese from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at CantoneseClass101.com.
You've decided to study a new language, so now what? Well, you want to become fluent fast, right? Here are the top 5 shortcuts to learning a language. Number 1. Create a study schedule and set some goals. Many language learners are unorganized. Creating a schedule allows you to free up time to study consistently. Goals give you motivation and something to strive for. Number 2. Make it fun. If you learn how to make your study time enjoyable, chances are you'll be more inclined to study. Watch a TV show with subtitles or listen to some music. Number 3. Find a language partner. This is the best way to improve your conversation skills. It will help you gain fluency even faster and increase confidence when speaking. Number 4. Use word lists to build up a solid vocabulary. This is a great way to build up your fluency, one word at a time. Luckily, we have all the word lists you need, with a range of topics, from food to love. Choose whichever language you want to study and go. Number 5. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Nothing helps you improve more than correcting your own errors. You're more likely to remember it correctly the next time around. Everyone makes mistakes. Don't be afraid to learn from them. There's no magical way to learn a new language overnight, but doing all of these can really help your learning process. And remember, if you're interested in getting on the fast track to fluency, sign up for your free lifetime account. No credit card required, and you'll get the best free online resources. Start learning now.
Hi guys, welcome to Cantonese Top Words. Today we're going to talk about 10 ways to remember words. It's always hard for me to remember new terms or new vocabularies. Let's see what's the way to improve that. 我不斷重複讀、寫同埋講啲字。I use repetition, reading, writing, and speaking words over and over again. First one is 我不斷重複讀、寫同埋講啲字。I use repetition, reading, writing, and speaking the words over and over again. Keep saying it. 讀書, 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 讀書 until it doesn't mean anything to you, and then somehow you will remember. 我大聲讀啲字，等我自己可以聽清楚。I say words out loud so that I can actually hear them. Next tip is 我大聲講啲字，等我自己可以聽清楚。I say the words out loud so that I can actually hear them. So some people, when they study a language, they just read it from the book or they listen to the video or audio, but they never actually pronounce them out loud. So this is actually a very helpful tip. You have to say it out loud and hear it in your own voice. That way you can remember the words better. 我學啲單詞嘅來源同埋唔同嘅字點樣串連一齊。I learn about the roots of words and how different words are related to each other. Next tip is 我學啲單詞嘅來源同埋唔同嘅字點樣串連一齊。I learn about the roots of words and how different words are related to each other. Especially in Cantonese, it's very easy to link words together because sometimes it has a core words that relate everything about that with that character. So for example, car is 車 and a garage would be 車房. So the room for the car. You still have the word 車 in all the terms that are about cars. That's very useful, right? 我嘗試喺日常生活當中用呢個語言。I try to use the language routinely in the context of daily life. 我嘗試喺日常生活當中用呢個語言。 I try to use the language routinely in the context of daily life. Say you're learning Cantonese and you can go to Chinatown, buy some vegetables, fruits. While you're there, you can talk to the people in Cantonese. 幾錢啊？平啲啦？ How much is it? Give it to me for cheaper price.
我將啲字同圖畫、相同埋得意嘅場面聯繫起嚟。I associate words with drawings, pictures, and funny scenes.
Next tip is 我將啲字同圖畫、相同埋得意嘅場面聯繫起嚟。I associate words with drawings, pictures, and funny scenes. So you can make a funny story in your mind. Some people say the character for a little is like a little penguin walking. Link it with any image, especially with Chinese characters. They're just like paintings. That would really help.
我聽歌，然後記住啲歌詞。I listen to songs and memorize the lyrics.
Next, 我聽歌，然後記住啲歌詞。I listen to songs and memorize the lyrics. That's actually a very good way to learn new languages. Maybe not so much for English, now that the songs are like work, 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 work. A repetition of some meaningless words. I don't know.
盡量多閱讀，尤其係報紙，可以幫我記住啲單詞。Reading as much as possible, especially the newspaper, helps me to remember words.
Next tip is 盡量多閱讀，尤其係報紙，可以幫我記住啲單詞。Reading as much as possible, especially the newspaper, helps me to remember words. While you're reading the articles or the newspaper, there are always some characters, some terms that you can pick out, and that would help the words sit in your mind.
我成日睇嗰啲為小朋友而設嘅電視或者 YouTube 影片。I often watch TV or YouTube videos that are designed for young children.
Next tip is 我成日睇嗰啲為小朋友而設嘅電視或者 YouTube 影片。I often watch TV or YouTube videos that are designed for young children. Why those for young children? Because they're easier and they're slower and they are clean and they are easier for learners to absorb new information.
我將新嘅單詞同自己母語入面差唔多發音嘅字聯繫一齊。I associate new words with words that sound similar in my native language.
Next one is 我將新嘅單詞同自己母語入邊差唔多發音嘅字聯繫一齊。I associate new words with words that sound similar in my native language. That is very helpful. It's even easier for Cantonese because we have so many words that came from English. For example, 巴士 bus came from English bus. And strawberries, 多啤梨是多啤梨. Cherries is 車厘子. So that's how a lot of Cantonese words were made.
我嘗試用廣東話嚟諗嘢，令到我嘅思考過程自然啲。I try to think in Cantonese so it becomes natural to my thought process.
Next tip is 我嘗試用廣東話嚟諗嘢，令到我嘅思考過程自然啲。I try to think in Cantonese so it becomes natural to my thought process. If you're thinking in a new language, that really helps you in building up the grammar or the syntax, everything about the language. So please try these tips. They will help you remember the new words you learn in another language. Please subscribe so we have more fun videos for you in Cantonese with me, Olivia. Also check out the word list on CantoneseClass101.com.
Today we're going to talk about 4 techniques to help you stop translating in your head and instead start thinking in your target language. This will allow you to have conversations with ease, read smoothly, and better understand native speakers. These are 4 methods to help you think in a new language. Number 1, surround yourself with your target language. This way, you'll be completely immersed in the language. Without realizing it, you'll learn pronunciation, sentence structures, grammar, and new vocabulary. Play music in the background while you're cooking, or have a radio station on while you study. Just use one of our endless podcasts available to you. These are easy to listen to in the background while doing other things. Number 2, learn through observation. This is how we all learned our native languages as kids. Words will develop their own meanings that relate better to your target language, rather than meanings that are translated directly. Number 3, speak out loud to yourself. Even if you're a little embarrassed, it forces you to listen to how you speak. It makes it much easier to spot simple grammar mistakes. Number 4, practice daily. If you practice everything for only one day, you won't retain the information you learned. The brain can realistically only focus for about 30 minutes. So studying a little every day allows you to absorb better. Follow these steps and have patience. You'll soon be able to achieve your language learning goals. Just make sure to remember these 4 methods. Sign up for your free lifetime account. No credit card required, and you'll get the best free online resources. And start learning more every day.